Kathy Griffin is rejoicing at Russell Brand's downfall, getting dragged through the media, having these serious allegations thrown at him. And she says it's about time. It has been too long for this quote-unquote sleazebag to get away with his behavior. And she even claimed that he SA'd one of her friends and told this story about him at an AA meeting where this allegedly occurred. Let's take a look at it. She's still yammering on TikTok, doing whatever it takes to get engagement on that platform.
Here we go.
Still looking good with the hair.
I am actually excited about the news getting out about Russell Brand. I mean, it has taken forever to catch up with that sleazebag. Forever.
Could you just pause for a second? This is just like the Harvey Weinstein situation, is it not? The celebrity saying it's taken way too long for this guy to get thrown behind bars. You're admitting that you were complicit in their behavior the entire time. You're admitting that you knew they were on a rampage of victimizing people, and you were perfectly happy to be silent about it while in a position of power and with a platform where you could speak about it. So
there is a very big super chat there from Erates00.
He said, "I'm doing my part. Salute."
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That actually, well, he set us back now because now we're gonna have two crises.
Is there a glitch?
Well, no, because like he set it so like it went and did two at once. So I'm gonna have to set one manually.
Okay, that's that one.
We are almost to 4. We're halfway there.
It's party time.
Yes.
Someone said that Kathy Griffin looks like she French kissed a wall socket.
If she had a tongue ring.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, are we gonna wait for the second one?
No, we'll keep going. It'll go.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Oh, I mean, I was done with my point.
Well,
there,
no, yeah,
like,
the point is accurate, right? Is that they're always like, look, it's about time they got their comeuppance.
After Me Too popped off, everyone in Hollywood who knew about Harvey Weinstein being a predator was gloating about this, like him getting exposed. I knew all along that he was doing this, and I'm just so glad that he finally got his comeuppance, and they're basically admitting that they were part of the problem of systemic abuse being allowed in the entertainment industry. And here Kathy Griffin is doing the exact same thing. So
let's keep going.
Continue.
So it never happened to me. I met him one time. I was on his talk show. That was it. And guys like that don't usually come for me because they think of me as a dude. So in that way, I'm actually lucky because they still can't conceive that a woman tells jokes. And that she might want to.
Because they mistake me for Carrot Top, so.
But like, I have a girlfriend that was at an AA meeting, and he was the speaker. And afterwards, she went to shake his hand for a good share, which is very common.
Technically, she's outing him as well. She's not outing her friend who was at the AA meeting, but she's outing him at the AA meeting.
I thought it was public info that he was in AA.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You're still sharing something that happened at a meeting.
Oh, is that entirely, like, not allowed?
You're not supposed to, no.
Okay. We got a $20 one from Olivia Claire. Setting an example for the Clairecast cult, HCB and I will lead our people tirelessly. However, I don't appreciate the Mocha slander or the Chloe slander.
There was no Chloe slander.
I can handle Mocha being a derp, but Chloe is adorable.
Nobody slandered Chloe. We completely left Chloe alone.
I mean, I did say that she looks slightly derpy as well. So.
Well, I
mean, it's not slander if it's true.
I only think Mocha's derpy. So that's just my opinion. Here we go. Let's keep going.
Going to AA, but the anonymity is key. And she said that he just came right up to her, got in her face, pushed his groin against hers, and was trying to be, like, this is an AA meeting, was trying to be, I'm not even gonna say trying to be funny, it's just gross. But it tells you like the mindset of so many of these comics. And I just want to point out, like, there's so many more coming. There's so many more coming.
You first,
and
Kathy.
Look, it's with actors as well. And I just want to be a little bit lighthearted because you don't hear this shit about Dame Judy I'll do this joke again. You don't hear this crap
got a little
about
tongue
Dame
twister
Judi
there.
Dench. Like, you don't hear, like, Julie...
Now the Judi Dench part is it's funny because she's old, right? But in general, when these things happen to men, when women are sexually aggressive with men and men complain, they're laughed at and they're said, and guys say, "Man, I wish that was me." Like guys
are part of that problem.
You're not
as
taken
well.
seriously if you come
But
out and
let's
say
be
that.
honest, I'm sure that the share of male comedians that have engaged in creepy behavior is larger than the share of the female comedians. Like, that's
Yes. Yeah.
pretty self-explanatory. Not the point, though. What I'm saying is, Kathy
She's
Griffin,
clout chasing.
if you are capable of name dropping people who are on rampages of abusing and victimizing people in the entertainment industry, and you're choosing to stay silent about it, and you're letting other people do the work, what are you doing?
Yep.
What is that about?
And that's the name of the game for a lot of them. They see all of these things not as crimes to be righted, but as ammo for them to use for
Right.
future points in their career.
I wanted to
right?
finish her video if we can.
Yep.
Leanne Moore is sexually assaulting somebody. And let me just talk about female comics, because that's obviously what I know. But, like, when you're a female comic, honestly, we're all pretty similar. Like, we want to do a really good show. Maybe you invite friends to your show.
Well, I want $1 million. We can't always get what we want.
Female comics tend not to have, like, a posse or a crew that travels with them, unless they're, like, opening and there's a reason. But, you know, we don't have spotters. Like, the guys have spotters. And I mean, like, almost all of them have spotters. So that's somebody that's one of their bros who picks out a girl in the audience, like, before the show, that is the comics type, to get, like, a afterwards, that sort of thing. And I just want to point something else out.
A handshake
In
afterwards.
defense of my sister comedians. And I'm saying this about Russell Brand as someone who got canceled in a way that he could only live in fear of.
Boo-hoo.
Like, seriously, you guys. I was canceled for a protest photo, but I was investigated by the Department of Justice and put on the no-fly list. Like, it's not even a comparison, so I'm sure he'll be, like, complaining about it and whining about it, but he'll be fine. All the guys will be fine. Trust me.
She's minimizing.
You know, the gravity of Kathy Griffin's quote-unquote cancellation is not the same as what's happening to Russell Brand at all.
Not even close.
Now, when I see coverage of something Kathy Griffin is doing, she doesn't get hyperlinked about her notorious Trump beheading photo.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have that really mentioned anymore. The media actually fawns over her for it.
I just thought this was funny. I looked up female celebrities accused of sexual assault, and you know what comes up?
Is Lizzo on it?
All Russell Brand.
Interesting.
Google's not answering the question, ladies and gentlemen. Google is ignoring the question.
I mean, I think Amy Schumer has.
Yep. Or Lizzo, or like it's to me it annoys me in the same way that when a female female teacher is arrested for having sex with a student. No, she's committing a crime, but it's minimized.
I'll have, like, armies of people behind them that are actively working to bring them back constantly. And, you know, you just don't hear this stuff about Amy Schumer and Chelsea Handler and Sarah Silverman and Wanda Sykes. Like, what you hear about the women is not in this category. Like, there is that girl, Colleen Ballinger, that played a character called Miranda Sings, which was a special needs character to begin with. So I am not sticking up for
Props
her.
for mentioning that, I
she's
guess.
very unusual for a female, but, like, I feel like she's being called out and there's a lot of receipts. But you know what you hear about my contemporaries, the women I named? And yes, I call them my contemporaries. I hope they're not insulted. But you hear that they're, like, difficult, or the B word, or the other B word, bossy, or whatever. And you hear that, like, the one I get all the time is expensive and difficult, because I'm always fighting to try to get what the guys get. But you should know, like, in the female comedy world, it is constantly an uphill battle, because honestly, how many of your straight guy friends, your husband, whatever, would choose with their straight guy buddies to go see a female comedian on their own? Let's be honest.
They wouldn't, because that does not make them bad people. It just means that they're not interested in what you're selling.
Look,
if your audience is women and gay men, you're shrinking your target demographic.
Okay, but that's still over half the population, and Kathy Griffin and a lot of these big name female comedians are living lives of luxury off of their careers. Kathy Griffin lives in a luxury gated community in Calabasas next to the Kardashians off of her comedy business. Okay, so I don't want to hear that things could be better for you. You have it pretty damn good. And, you know, she likes her audience. What's the problem? Male comedians that have majority male audiences don't complain about how women don't go to their shows.
I mean, there's kind of that same, like I said, there was that same discussion that's had about being an attractive comedian. Like the comedian Jeff Dye did this thing at an interview where they said, like, has it been an uphill battle for you in comedy because you're traditionally handsome? He said, no, it's helped me a lot more than it's hurt me. It's helped me get movie roles. It's helped me get traditional acting stuff, right? Like, the idea is that different professions have different demographics. It would be like it's like being an ugly, like most secretaries are not ugly in the professional world, right? Like you'll get old secretaries, but like
that's pretty privileged.
Yes, it is, right?
Which, unlike a lot of forms of privilege that are talked about, actually does have an impact on how people treat you.
Ooh, somebody mentioned Roseanne. Roseanne is a comedian people would go to see. Chrissy Mayer is a comedian.
Came to mind. I would pay to see her. Like, there are exceptions, but everyone knows that there are more funny and successful male comedians because men are socialized to prioritize things like being funny over other things.
It's also interesting because, like, look, when a male comedian self-deprecates, he's calling into question his own inadequacies. When the females, when somebody like Kathy Griffin talks about this, she's laying that blame at the feet of other people, not at herself. When a comedian jokes about being ugly or not being funny or not being this or that, he's laying the blame at his own feet. When Kathy Griffin says, I don't make enough money because people don't find me funny, it's not because she's saying she's not funny. She's saying it's because you're a sexist, bigot, istophobe who is the problem, which is inherently not funny anyways and isn't a good time. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not something people want to be around. I don't want to be lectured.
She names the most obnoxious female comedians. Chelsea Handler, Sarah Silverman, Amy Schumer. Nobody likes these people.
Yeah, not in years.
I don't think any of these people are
Tina Fey. I don't know if Tina Fey
has her moments, but she didn't name her in there.
But Tina Fey it's like when people talk about like women being in roles of power in Hollywood. Said, look, Tina Fey has built an empire for herself and done very well.
Amy Poehler's funny.
I mean, we can go back.
She's funny.
Like I've got a soft spot for Tina Fey because of 30 Rock.
Yes.
So, you know, it's just when they complain about it and they blame the inadequacies on other people, it doesn't engage the audience. It doesn't make people want to be to listen to you more. It would be like
I mean, Amy Schumer is out here on stage talking about how like my pee smells like a barnyard animal, and where's the punchline?
Yeah.
Also, like you're just being as vulgar as possible to shock people.
That is a big part
into laughing out of being uncomfortable. Yeah. It's not a joke. Also, stand-up isn't really conducive to the ways that women are capable of being funny anyway.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of funny women out there, but you don't really see it in the medium of stand-up.
The vulgar humor has run its course.
Like, I mean, even from men, I don't care for it. Yeah. That's not the style of humor that I'm into. But, like, stand-up isn't conducive to helping funny women be funny.
There was a time when vulgar humor was novel and new. Like, oh, look at this woman making. Now, I never found that type of humor particularly interesting, but other people did.
That
and
trope
that's fine.
has just been hammered so much that it doesn't hit anymore. Like, maybe in the previous century, that would have been shocking and funny.
Yeah.
Now we're over it.
Like I said, Tina Fey is funny to me because of 30 Rock, which was before Hollywood became as awful as it is now. Like watching 30 Rock now is actually kind of shocking.
Women are also funnier in scripted comedy than stand-up.
Yes. In general, like
scripted like skits and things
at
like
least
that.
that's my opinion. Right now, we did put a poll up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's end the poll so I can't be accused at the end of the show of not doing so. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, with 62% of the vote. They say women are not funny.
Okay, that's not what they said. They said they wouldn't pay to see a female comedian, Brett.
Okay.
But it's a relatively balanced poll.
60-30? I guess. 60-40?
Yeah, I was expecting it to be more lopsided than that.
Negative YouTube says...
I voted yes because there are exceptions.
Chrissy Mayer is an exception. Roseanne would be an exception for a lot of them. So, it's fine, but Kathy Griffin
I certainly wouldn't include Kathy Griffin on that list.
And the reason this bothers me isn't because it's because she's just like, what's in the news? Do I have any life stories that are relevant to this popular story that will get me views on the internet?
She had that waiting in the chamber until the very moment where it became relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't interest me, and it's
this is about her vendetta against male comedians who are competitors with her in her space.
Yeah.
This is not about her wanting justice for the alleged victims.
I don't think Chelsea Handler was ever funny, but that's just me. That's my personal opinion.
But this is certainly not like a moral crusade for Kathy Griffin. She's just, name dropping people for clout and wanting to badmouth her competitors.
Oh, yes, Andrina's right. There is a YouTuber, an Instagram comedian, a girl named Musings of a Crouton, who's legitimately one of the, she is incredible.
There are a lot of girls like that who use social media skits, and they're like really funny.
Musings of, okay, so she did a couple recently. She's what she literally calls herself, like an agent of chaos. So she did
You also mentioned Stormy G.
Yes, hers is hooker humor. It's amazing. But like there's skits, right?
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.